Well, there's a mighty difference in print runs.
Definitely, and they both carry a value, so...
I mean, do print runs even matter?
Let's talk about it, because they do.
All right.
All right.
So print runs are something we talk about every single week, but we've never really explained what that means. What is a print run?
As a dealer, we get the catalog, we place our orders, Diamond tallies up the units, sends it to the publisher. That's the amount of units we requested. Given the economy and the state of our industry, most companies print to order. And that's a page they took out, and I've mentioned this before in one of many episodes, where back in the 90s when Marvel was in bankruptcy attorneys came in, help them out, look at their books, said, guys, what are you doing? You're in the red. Your orders are coming in for 50,000 units, but you're printing 150,000 units. I mean, I'm exaggerating the numbers, but that's the idea. So they said, you gotta cut the numbers. So that actually helped Marvel get into the black, was by cutting the overprint run, and they're still following that plan right now. 90% of the books that come out of Marvel, you know, every week, they leave the printer at a sold out status.
Right, because they only print what they make.
The range could be as high as, I don't know, 50, 60,000 units. Because of the numbers being so tight, that's why Marvel has variants. That's why DC have variants. Now even look at some of the other publishers, they have multiple variants.
Right.
You know, doesn't mean
it's an enticement for you to order more.
Yes and no, because you got to know your shop. So I know I have guys.
No, I'm not saying that you will order more. I'm saying that's Marvel trying to get you to order more.
No, it's Marvel actually saying we got to have more units out. So no matter what they order outside of the initial cover, it's more numbers at the printer. They don't look at per title, they look at overall monthly print run. The printer says, hey guys, you need to have 1 million units to break even or make a profit. Then that 1 million units is going to be tallied up between each title, each variant. If they're short so many numbers, let's put in another theme variant this month.
Is that where the secret variants come into play?
No, secret variants just throw that to fuck with you, because you don't know. but we're talking like the Bring On the Bad Guys theme, or the Asgardians theme, or the Mary Jane theme, or the Carnicized or Venomized, whatever.
The name of the game for any sort of collectible is rarity. The smaller print run, the more rare something is.
Look at the Venom First Host.
It's a hot book from the last
number
year.
3 variant. Okay, so open order variant. Nobody really ordered that First Host because it wasn't the Donny Cates. They pulled it out of Secret Wars.
It's a different writer too.
It was Mike Costa. He was a great writer. The idea was that they went back to Marvel Secret Wars number 8, where you see Spidey getting the Venom out of the ship. So it's an aspect they developed. All of a sudden, create another character, but the variant only had a print run about 1,900 units. Because again, it wasn't Donny Cates writing it. So all of a sudden, that open order variant, that's averaging what, 65 to 100 bucks?
For a book that's a year old, right?
2 years and at best, a year and a half.
Yeah.
This is gonna keep climbing and climbing and climbing.
It's not an end all be all. Like, it's a good thing marker to go off of, because obviously there's books, you can buy indie books, they only have 500 copies built, but it's the book itself.
But it's the brand, that's the difference.
Exactly. It's like there's books out there that nobody reads that are, you know, less than 1,000 copies because they're not a part of a big brand and those things aren't attached to anything. And sometimes things don't make any sense. And we got a book back here, or we did have it. We do. We have a book back here. This book right here is a perfect example. It's Amazing Spider-Man 300. We've talked about it before. The print run on this thing,
it's huge.
It's in the over 1 million, right? Or close to 1 million.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's insane. And this book is how much? How much are you asking for?
Well, this is the newsstand version. Okay. So it's even rarer than.
But I mean, what is this? What you think, like an 8.0 or
this,
8,
I'm
8.5?
selling this. I'm selling this for about $350.
But I mean, and this is not a 9.8.
It's not a 9.8.
In very fine to not
about a 9.
Yeah.
8.59.
8.59 condition. It's not rare for all intents and purposes.
And this is a weird book too, because it fluctuates in price. 1 week could be a freaking $700, the next week is $200.
Well, it's because there's so many out there. The second it spikes at that high sale, people start flooding the market with their copies. But it's an example of print run doesn't always support. Sometimes these things have no rhyme or reason, so you can't always go off it. Another book is New Mutants '98 first Deadpool. That book for sure I know has over I've heard up to 2 million copies maybe.
It's got a lot of issues
Yeah.
out there. But again, perfect storm book. Chris Claremont. Is it Chris Claremont? I think so. No, Fabian Ciencia.
Yeah. It's
Liefeld, Cable. I mean, you're X-Men with the height of the X-Men power. I mean, there's so much, and yes, as many as there are out there, that fucking book still brings money.
And it comes down to, just like we talked about the last episode, like, is the character worth anything? You know, is it a good character to people? And we know Deadpool, even though kids aren't supposed to be reading it, is super popular amongst kids.
2 characters that I get asked for the most by that young readership age that I want in my store. Deadpool and Venom. I'm like,
I can't
and
sell
I look
you
at the
either.
parents, I'm like, and I have to explain to parents, look, this is what it is, just a little bit rougher. There's none of this. It is owned by Disney. These characters are gonna run around this land. It's just a little bit different.
When I hammered in, once again, the most important thing about a comic is what's inside. And if the inside of it is good, it doesn't matter. And and if we want to talk modern books, Immortal Hulk is a perfect example of that. The inside of that, there's no first appearances. You know, there's a few here and there, but the first appearances isn't what's driving those books. It's
the story.
The stories.
You know,
Same thing with Absolute Carnage.
Right.
That's going to
I bought a collection a few weeks back, about 3-4 weeks ago, short boxes, mostly Marvel runs from the last 7 years, and I was getting ready for the sale that I just had this past weekend, and I'm going through them, and there's so many books that Al Ewing wrote during that whole Infinity era, you know, prior to that. I mean, he wrote book after book after book, and I'm like, okay, this was decent, but nothing like Immortal Hulk. It was like, I'm like, what the? I'm looking at it like, wow, Immortal Hulk versus this. I mean, it's insane.
It's just sometimes there's one character that
one
defines
character.
you.
Jason Aaron the same way. I mean, he wrote
Thor, right?
You know, well, he was doing Wolverine. He was doing a lot of the X books, Wolverine and the X-Men. I was like, who cares? He got on Thor. Oh my God! I mean, God of Thunder, Mighty Thor, all this. It's like, oh,
now it's out. So, get what you like, guys. What do you got this week, Cat?
What do I got this week? The Absolute Carnage #3 comes out. I got Guardians, Donny Cates. Something's cooking with those books. I know they're leading to another Annihilation storyline. There's just a lot of stuff coming out of Marvel in the next 6 months, a year.
I feel like Donny Cates has had these notebooks of ideas since he was a kid.
But look,
now they're like, here.
Talk about that.
And he's just unleashing on
Talk about that. There was an interview with Hickman. There was an interview in one of the newspapers, and he's like my age, you know, probably younger than me, in the 40s, whatever, but he grew up reading the same books I grew up, and he said that he would take notes and go, this is what I would do if I was writing. So he's using the notes that he did as a kid, reading the Claremont X-Men that he's doing now, and it's like, it's great. I'm sure Donny Cates, I mean, that's, you know, you look at Donny Cates, Rosenberg, a lot of these guys, you can tell
when they started
reading comics.
Right.
Because the stuff, I'm almost doing that 80s, you know, era again with good fun stuff, you know. Punisher, Rosenberg's Punisher, man, it's like back, you know, when he first came out on the scene where he just like popping everything and everybody, you know. Dan Slott, he came off of Spider-Man, the height, he was great. He got on these Fantastic Four and Tony Stark, and they've been lukewarm books. Fantastic Four, he's about to pull something with that book.
Right.
And I know Marvel's been tweaking with their history because of Marvel Comics 1000. Watch out for history of the Marvel Universe. They're probably doing some stuff and they're introducing something. You know, as we know in Marvel Comics, they introduced that black mask, whatever the character is. I'm thinking that's the white Nick Fury. That's Daddy coming back home. That's just my opinion. Bring in Ultron and Tony Stark. And right now, Ultron and Pym, they're connected. They've been connected. So you're probably going to see a separation. You're going to see the original Ant-Man back in and some evil shit with Ultron down the line. But keep an eye on Dan Slott on both Fantastic Four and Tony Stark. I know a lot of people are but I'm telling you, he's going to hit you with something. We got J.J. Abrams coming in to us with his son on Spider-Man #1. It's a 5-part mini, but I'm curious. A lot of people are giving flack because the son got the job because of Dad.
Oh, he absolutely did.
Stop being haters, bro.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying there's no question whatsoever.
Of course. House of X. X Hickman, you know, with the next chapter, and I'm just, I'm waiting. I mean, I've been wowed so far. Everybody I talk to is heads over heel over these X-Men books. We can't wait for the startup, for everything, to see where they're going. But those are my Marvel picks. From DC, 2 books. I'm again, Batman 79. I want to see where it's going. I mean, I'm curious. I'm not too happy, but whatever. But then this is the point. This is what I don't understand with DC. You got a flash forward book with Wally West, the Wally West that we know, not Wallace West, but he's a character that has no place in this DC universe that they're building, and I want to see what they're gonna use him for. I mean, given again the changes that are gonna come to DC universe, is he the key that's gonna keep alive what we know? Is he gonna be the gateway to that multiverse again? That what if storylines where if you are a fan of the old stuff, the only way you're gonna get stories is in these like side stories that they're gonna do.
Yeah,
they're not canon, but that's what's gonna be.
As for variants this week, guys, Absolute Carnage #3 is a Red Goblin Greg Land variant. It's a so codex beautiful as well. Really cool stuff, and I think these other codex variants have been doing pretty well.
Watch out for those for the dance. Talk about dance slot. Watch out for those dance slot red thread.
Yeah, those were hot. Those books were hot for a little while.
They were hot.
They kind of cooled off a little bit, but
first Red Goblin and also his kids. By the end of 800, the kid still has a piece of Carnage in him, so watch out for those 2 books too, for that storyline.
There's things that are gonna play out. Then I got Absolute Carnage Lethal Protectors #2. It's also a codex variant with all the different Venom symbiotes on it, from like your Screams, your, I don't know the names of them, but from the Lethal Protector line.
Right.
It's #2. It's by Miko Sion. Cool looking cover. Then Cat misses one.
You know what? I just saw it and I'm gonna interject, but dude, again, watch out for those Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Arrow books, first appearances. I mean, I'm telling you, you're right.
Arrow #3. Greg Pak posted this on Twitter weeks ago. I think it might have even been 2 months ago. He said there's going to be a first appearance Filipino character, Arrow #3. Get on it. Tell your distributor, because nobody's buying the books.
Nobody's buying the books. I'm telling you, they're sold out. They got 2nd, 3rd, 4th printings on some of them. That tells you that the print on these books are very low. They're doing, and with these books, with the reprints, they're not doing panels. They're actually doing either full art or new art. Print run's gonna be low. I grab them.
And there's a variant for it by Mahan. I don't know who Mahan is, but
Popman. Is it Popman or Man?
It's MHAN. That's all that. All I got was the last name, or that might be the full name. I don't know. I've never heard of the artist though. So check it out. You know, the variants are always going to be a lower print run, unless it's DC. It's going to be a lower print run than the A cover.
That's so sad when a variant on DC sells better than the actual cover.
And then finally, House of X #5. It's the first part of the connecting cover. This one by David Nakayama. And we've been telling you for the past 3 or 4 episodes now, like these connecting covers are just flying off the shelves. And they're going off the bat day one. You're gonna see them for $15 and up online.
DC is pulling some acetate covers in November.
I heard about that. I just
we
didn't care at all.
We're placing orders for them now that far in advance. It's gonna be 1 print run, first print only, sells out, that's done. And
then when you guys, I see people online talking about how we're, you know, this feels like the 90s all over again. Well, DC is definitely going down the 90s line.
Yeah,
and
they are.
You know, because now they're pulling out the gimmick covers and whatever. But we'll talk about that on another episode as well, actually. And that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Ring the bell if you are. Follow us on Instagram. Leave comments in this video because it helps the algorithm. Cat, take us away.
I want you to buy comics. Go buy comics. Support your local comic book store. Support print. Buy comics.
We'll see you next time.